Hi Year 10, here's another homework video. So this time we're looking at section B. There's only one question on section B and we often just refer to it as question 5. All right, but the important thing to remember here is that section B is the writing section and the focus changes then from reading to writing. It says, you are advised to spend about 45 minutes on this section. Now I would suggest that you can spend a good 10 minutes planning. Okay, that would still give you 30 minutes writing time and 5 minutes to check your work. 30 minutes is plenty because you're going to write a maximum of 2 pages. So you might want to make a little note here, 10 mins, plan, 30 minutes writing and 5 minutes checking. When you know what you're going to say, because you spent a good time planning, you'll find that your ideas will flow much better. And it gives you this reminder here, you need to plan your answer, you should write in 4 sentences, and you should leave enough time to check your work at the end. I've put 5 minutes there. Now I said 5 minutes planning, but actually because you're only going to write 2 pages, 10 minutes is plenty. Okay, you've got time for that. So make sure you've got that down. Now the question here always gives you a statement that you have to decide whether you agree or disagree with. So snow seems like it is picturesque, exciting and fun, but in reality it causes accidents, inconvenience and economic disruption. Now you will see that the topic here links to the texts that you have been reading. So you can use those for evidence, okay? Now it's telling you to write an article for a broadsheet newspaper. So you've got to think about the fact that you're writing a newspaper and it's a broadsheet. That means it's got to have a certain level of formality. And you've got to explain your viewpoint on this issue, okay? So you've got to have a point of view. 24 marks for content and organisation, 16 marks for technical accuracy, which gives us a total of 40 marks, okay? If you need to pause to get any of that down, then you can. Let's really look at what you're going to get those marks for then. So you're going to get your first 24 marks for your range of ideas, that's why it's so important to plan, your use of rhetorical devices, your vocabulary, the structure of your work, again, why planning is so important, using paragraphs and using discourse markers. These are basically topic sentences that help to direct the readers to what you're talking about. Formality is going to be important. So because you're writing a broadsheet newspaper, they're not going to expect to see anything that is not standard English, and making the purpose clear. You're explaining your point of view. So make sure you've got all that down. Then you're going to get 16 marks for the following. Your sentences, they're looking for a variety of lengths, a variety of openers, and just general control of your sentences. A range of punctuation. Draw a list of punctuation and tick it up as you use it. You're going to get marks for standard English, so you can see how actually this counts twice, here and here. You're going to get marks for spelling, and you're going to get marks for vocabulary, which again you can see counts twice. That's why it's more important to use an interesting word, even if you're not sure if you've spelt it correctly, rather than a boring one. Okay, so once you've got that down, turn over, or you might be able to do it on the same side. I would suggest that you plan like this. Reasons why you agree, reasons why you disagree. Now, it's always important to choose one side or the other, but remember you'll need to think of the other side of the argument for when you include your counter arguments. As part of your planning, I would note down what I see de Forest stands for. So I would write that in when I get into the exam room, write it down somewhere, and again, write my list of rhetorical devices so that I can tick them off. Okay, so if you haven't drawn that and done that, then do that now. Now think about structure. You're going to have an introductory paragraph where you paint a picture. You might start with, can you imagine, question mark, or imagine, question mark, or picture this, colon. So I've given you 3 possible sentence starters that you can use. Then you're going to have a sort of follow-on introductory paragraph, okay, where it's going to be 1 or 2 sentences long and you really clearly state your viewpoint or what should happen. The main part of your essay or response will be 3 paragraphs or 3 reasons. Okay, your first paragraph might start firstly, your second paragraph might start we also need to consider, and your third paragraph might start what about. Then in your conclusion, I want you to reassert your viewpoint or your intended outcome. What do you want the reader to think or do or feel? Okay, so I'll just repeat that. What do you want the reader to think? What do you want the reader to do? Or what do you want the reader to feel? And you might start that with, make no mistake, colon, and then explain what might happen if they don't do anything about it. Or you might say, we have a duty to, okay, and then explain what the duty is and why they have to do it. So I've given you some sentence starters there, okay. I'm not going to give you a huge amount more information at this point. We will do some work on the lesson on Friday. But you almost need to start learning this structure and learning your list of rhetorical devices. On the next side, then you've got a couple more sheets. You can have a go at actually answering that question. Okay? That's all for your homework for now. So make sure you've got everything down in the video, but then have a go at actually planning and writing your response. Okay, remember your homework should take you about an hour. So if it's taken you 15 minutes to make the notes from the video, you've now got 45 minutes to plan a response and write. Okay, off you go.